Hey everyone, welcome to Patriot Ridge Farm. I guess a reintroduction is in order. Anyways, to start off where we left off, I guess a couple videos ago. So I just moved them to fresh grass, and they are thoroughly enjoying their fresh grass. I'm still moving them once a day, every day. That feeder was filled up yesterday about this time. It's about 5 o'clock. So they are definitely not going through a whole feeder in 24 hours. They are very enthusiastic on the fresh grass, which I'm fine with. I'm perfectly fine with. The problem is that they end up crapping so much, they soil the area pretty quickly. Still not getting a huge manure load from them, but if you leave them for 2 days, they would definitely fill it up, and I don't want to do that. So I'm trying to keep them kind of cleaner. So yeah, still that's much what is left over from one full scoop that I normally feed them with. So one full scoop, and that's 24 hours. Now they should be 4 weeks. Yeah, so they should be 4 weeks old now. And my wife even brought that up to me. She said, they look a little small for 4 weeks. And I said, I think they do, but it's usually from 4 weeks on is when they really get their growth spurt and they really take off. Because while they look small, these monsters, these were the 7 that we're going to keep for our breeding program. And there's no question the size of these buggers. And I'm only feeding them once a day. Look at the legs on this thing. Good Lord. So I'm only feeding them once a day. They've still got plenty left in their feeder. And I don't want them growing rapidly anymore. I want them just maintained and let them just kind of grow at the rate they're going to grow without forcing a bunch of feed on them. So what I normally do is one full scoop. I want to say this is a 4-quart scoop if I remember right. All right, get back in there, bowling ball. Go on, get away. Hey, you got to move. Yeah. All right, there's still food in there. You shouldn't be ravenous. But you're going to be anyway. Move it. So there's still plenty of feed left in there for them, but this is how they act as soon as you bring new feed in. Go figure. I wonder how they get that big in 8 weeks, and they're 10 weeks now. Yeah, they would be 10 weeks now. All right, so feed the little ones over here now. One whole scoop. All right, move it. And see, they still got feed, but as soon as you come in with new feed, act like they haven't eaten in a week. No exploring. Get back. And then the third tractor, I came out, and these guys had, in these bell waters, there is a mesh, kind of like a filter in there, and it had plugged up, so they were out of water. So I had to clean the filter out, and then I just took the hose and filled it up, kind of soaked them in the process. They didn't complain. But this is from yesterday. All the feed left in there. So I'll still top it off, well, with just one scoop. These things look terrible when they look like this, because look at that. They outgrow their feathers, or they grow faster than their feathers. Now, I probably wouldn't have to be honest, and just by estimations, I probably let them go on that for 2 days now. But in about a week, they'll probably clean this thing up in a day, or even, a half a day. But these things, when they grow, all of their effort, because of their appetite, goes into muscle and body growth, not so much feather growth. That's why you see them look like this. So they get kind of patchy and sporadic, and their butts are bald, and they got this and that here and there, and kind of look like something you'd see in a Madonna or a Miley Cyrus music video, I guess. That's my estimation of it anyways. What's that? Came in like a bald chicken. All right. It's very humid out here, so I'm going to go ahead and apologize. You're probably going to get a glare off that bald head because it's a sweating, boy. Woo! That humidity will not let up. We've definitely had some good rain. We could still use more, so I'm not complaining. But this humidity is not something you want to spend a lot of time out in doing too much hard work, because your skin can't evaporate and you can get overheated real easy. Or let me rephrase that. Your sweat can't evaporate and cool your skin as easily, so that's why you tend to get overheated a lot more easy in humid weather, and I'm sure most adults know that kind of stuff. All right, so talked to the well drilling company today. They should be here next week. I've got the whole area cleared out. I got the dozer moved. We started putting it back together. Ran into another problem. The tank, the fuel tank, is full of sediment. I mean, it's a mid-70s dozer that I bought used, so God knows what's been in it. And even though I keep the fuel filter and stuff changed in it, there's still a pretty good layer of sediment and stuff in the tank. So I've got to get that cleaned out. I got the dump trailer emptied. Got my new compost pile over there set where the greenhouse is going to go. It's off to the corner there, so we can just have it right there when we start doing everything once we get the high tunnel up. But the main thing is right now is getting the well drilled, and hopefully they can do it in a relatively short period of time if they don't run into any complications. Get that done, then we can get the electric done and get everything set up for it, get it certified, get reimbursed for that, and then turn around and buy the high tunnel, and then wait on it to come and then get it set up and get everything done on that they require as well. All right, just fed the pigs. They're terrible. They are so wasteful with food. That's why the next bunch of food I get for them is going to be pelletized and not crushed or ground. Hey buddy, what you doing? What doing, homie? Old Boris. You give a little squeak for everybody? Huh? No squeaking? There you go. Crack me up when you do that, knucklehead. So Peppa should be due second week of July. Coke should come in at the end of July, first part of August. I've still got to get this area done over here, the farrowing area, the farrowing pen, and the 2 farrowing huts built. Yes, I know I'm running on limited time, but I can do that farrowing pen in just a couple hours, and I can get both farrowing huts built in a day. So it's pressing, but it's not terrible. Pee-wee is doing fantastic. He has finally come out of the pen. He's been out here in the woods and rooting, doing all kinds of good stuff. And there's one thing about him that has changed significantly over the last few weeks. Come here, buddy. What do you think? And that is Lovin's. This pig thoroughly enjoys good scratchings and lovins, don't you? So I can't stand still. When I get loves, I twist and I shake and I grunt and I just eat up all the lovins I can get. Now, we originally got him to raise for our own consumption this winter. And okay, all right. To his benefit, he's become so loving, so friendly, that he is now going to stay with us. Pee-wee has been adopted. We will not be eating him. I'm sure you're thankful for that, aren't you? He is going to be Boris's buddy, because when we get the females moved out of there, over here to their farrowing pen, and then ultimately into their new paddock, we'll build the new paddock for them. It goes up and around, comes back down around the hill. I showed you that in previous videos. But Boris will always need a buddy. Okay, all right. So I don't want to reintroduce a new piglet every year, because Boris is growing and will continue to grow. If he's anything like his daddy, he'll get to 650 pounds easy, probably more. And I don't want to risk, a little pig getting injured with him. So him and Pee-wee are acquainted enough, and Pee-wee is put on enough size now where he could pretty much stand his own. So Pee-wee will be a permanent fixture on our farm. I know, okay, I know. You love it so much you can't stand it. All right. Hey, you take up all my video credit here. So he will be staying with us. And I know there's a lot of folks out there say, oh, you can't make them a pet, you can't do this, can't do that. Listen, if it came down to it and we absolutely had to, I could eat him. But again, he's a good pig. He's already acquainted with our other pigs. I'm not worried about it. And like I said, I don't want to try to break it. All right, all right, all right. Say hi to everybody. Oh God, that's so good. So I don't want to try to reintroduce a new pig every year if I don't have to. So he'll be staying with us. All right, I got 12 chicks in a brooder right now, 4 of which are the dark Cornish. That was the 4th mystery breed, by the way, if you didn't catch on to that. And 8 of them are Delaware broilers. And they will be moving out. Well, I may actually try this weekend to get them out here in the coop and then get them out in a run in another week or so, by the time they're still not small enough to get through the chain link on a run there. So I get them done. I think there's 22 or 24 American breast eggs in the incubator right now. So we got about, I think 19 or 20 days left on them. The Niederreimers come next week. So I'm gonna be up to my dadgum ears in chickens before it's too much longer. I need to pick my roosters out. So the Delaware broilers, there's only 2 roosters, and there's only one I'm going to use for breeding because Titan is the biggest and the best looking one of the bunch. The other one's just a butthole, and he's much smaller. He's kind of like the jock's best buddy type of thing, you know, in high school. Ain't got nothing going for him, but because he hangs out with the big dude, you know. As far as the American breasts, I definitely have my top pick on those roosters, and he is the biggest and the best looking of all of them. There's 3 of them in there. And then, you know, I have my 2nd and 3rd picked out. So what I'll do is I'll pin up the roosters that I'm not going to use for breeding right now. And I'll swap roosters. Titan with the American breasts, and then the American breasts with the Delaware broilers. And I don't know how true it is. I've never really read too much into it. They say a hen will stay fertile for about 3 weeks after one breeding with a rooster. I don't know if that's true. I've never really read into it too much. Not something that really interests me. But if that's the case, then I'll wait to start collecting eggs for incubation for about a month once I put them all together. And that way we're past that window and I'll get the cross that I want. Now, the other chicks that are out in the incubator right now, again, will come out here to the brooder or to the outside coop. And then as these eggs within a month, all of the ones that I'm hatching, that I just hatched, that there's 2 American breast hens on clutches of eggs right now. If they hatch, so we're going to end up with a mess of chicks. So I absolutely have to get another chickshaw built here in the very near future. See how it goes? Farrowing pen, farrowing huts, another chickshaw, chickens back and forth, and everything. So, you know, I definitely got to really get into it here and make sure I don't get behind. And that's all the while trying to get everything else done. Now, of course, I won't have any part of the well process. That's all going to be done by the well company. The only thing I will do is we'll be able to run the electric within a day. Buddy of mine, he's a contractor, got an electrical license and stuff like that. So we'll put the panel in the building, run the electric from the house up to the building, and then from the building down to the pump, and then to the well in the pressure tank. And then ultimately when we get the high tunnel in, we'll run the electric down to it too. So there's a lot to do coming up. So I've definitely got my time already laid out for me here on projects and stuff. I said before, when I build another chicken another chickshaw, I'm going to go smaller. Where this one is 6x6, it's plenty big enough for all of those chickens and then some. So I'm going to cut it down to a 4x4 and go that route, because the ultimate end goal of this is that they will be in that through the warmer summer months, out on grass and moving all over the place. And in the winter, God willing, they'll go into the high tunnel for the winter. And so will the rabbits. And that's what my ultimate goal is get them on grass, get the rabbits on grass. And then in the winter time, I can put them all out there in the high tunnel together. And like Joel Salatin has what they call the racking, where he puts the rabbits and chickens in the greenhouse. It allows the rabbit poop and the chickens in there scratching around and pooping and everything like that to fertilize the soil. So that's the ultimate plan. If I could ever keep up with everything. I mean, at 51 years old, if I stop too long, rigor mortis tries to set in, so I have to stay ahead of it. But, you know, that's the plan, to try to just do this in phases and everything. And I've got some people who will come and help me that I will be calling on. So if you're watching this video, you get ready, because I'm going to be calling you here very soon. But I have a lot to do this weekend, and getting in preparation for everything else. So I will keep you guys updated on this, keep you along for the ride. Once they get in here with the well drilling rig, I'll try to get a little bit of video of that and stuff to kind of show you guys, but I don't want to stay out of their way and not delay them or anything. Chicken sales are doing really good. A lot of folks, I told them, I said, you got to give me an honest review. I don't want to, I don't want you to think you're going to hurt my feelings. I need an honest review on these chickens, because we were using a whole different food this year. There's nothing else that's changed with our chickens. I did add oregano to the water this year, just as an antiviral, antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory, antibiotic, you know, all the good benefits of oregano. But I told him, I said, I need a good, honest review. And I said, you're not going to hurt my feelings. I don't want to put out a mediocre product, and I don't want somebody buying my chicken saying, I just paid $4 a pound for a whole chicken that tastes like the one at Walmart. That's not what I want. And guess what? We have gotten phenomenal reviews. Fantastic. I'm so happy. I'm so pleased. And I even asked a couple of them, like, really, seriously, talking to me, thick skin, you're not going to hurt my feelings. I'm not going to get mad. Tell me, Mike, seriously, best chicken I've ever had. It's fantastic. You guys done a great job. That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to know, because that tells me that we're doing things right. If there's anything that needs to change, of course, you know, we'll make what necessary changes we have to make. But we'll see how everything else goes. Now, this group of chickens that we just bought from a local farmer had been vaccinated. I don't know to what degree or what vaccinations that they did have. I'm thinking probably just like coccidiosis and/or Marek's. But I ordered another batch of 75 Cornish cross for September. We'll run them September to November. And I ordered no vaccinations on them whatsoever. And just for 75 Cornish cross roosters, it's $261. So price of chicken's going up. Now, I can tell you that they are, again, I didn't want any vaccines done on them. The chicks that we're hatching right now, no vaccines on them. There'll be no vaccines in the future for any of our chickens. And we'll try to continue building our flock that way. I would like to get a dual-purpose heritage type breed out on a pasture and raise them. But if the Cornish cross turns out to be a better chicken all the way around with what we end up with, then we'll just stick with Cornish cross and go no vaccines. As far as the pigs, when I bought the pigs, they came with one shot, and that was the day that they left the farm, and that was just an antibiotic shot to prevent any kind of respiratory virus. Other than that, they've had absolutely no vaccines, and I don't plan any future vaccines. I will treat something as it arises, but as far as just empirically, no vaccines on our animals at all. And that's the way I want to keep it. So, you know, say what you want to. I think we'd be able to recognize something wrong with one of our animals and you know, take action soon enough if we would need to. But I would like to stay that route, because our ancestors did it without vaccines. They did everything. They took care of animals. The old guys always said, if a pig won't grow and he seems to be sick, turn him loose in the woods, he'll find his medicine. And that has seemed to hold true with a lot of people that I've talked to. And our pigs have done absolutely fine. I've had no worries or no issues with them. Except for the one time that Boris did get sick. I gave him some charcoal. He munched it up. The next day he was up fine, walking around and having no problems at all. So there are better treatments and more natural treatments than antibiotics and drugs and everything like that for him. So we're going to stay that route. All right, all that being said, I ordered a canopy for the tractor. It's in. I'm going to go get it tomorrow. I'm going to take it up to a buddy's garage. We're going to swap the tires around, set the rear tires out wider, set the front tires out wider, get the canopy on. Then the next project here in the near future, hopefully get the big boom mower on it and get to really cutting out here on the farm and getting my roads opened up and getting the areas that I need to get heavy brush cut off of that you can't get a regular brush hog up on, get that thing to work and really get it going. And that way I can really get everything ready for expanding my fence and my paddocks and everything for my animals, and hope to look forward to getting lambs sometime in the near future. But there's a lot going on right now for me to even worry about that. So we'll keep you guys along for the ride. We do appreciate the subscriptions. I appreciate your comments. Please give us some feedback. Tell us what you think. If you're interested in chickens, you can send me a message on our Facebook page, Patriot Ridge Farm on Facebook. You know, if you're local area, we are North Central West Virginia. If you're in the area, we are a licensed business now. so we can do it all legally. And when we do run the next batch of chickens in mid-July, I will get some footage on there for you for that. In the meantime, as always, get and stay prepared, stay free, and God bless y'all.